Hi everyone, this is Koinzell here, and today I have a very quick video for you guys. We are just going to look into one specific section which will be Kaveh's Q bonus as well as Baizhu's A4 passive on Nilou multiple cost at 0 EM and at 1000 EM. At the same time, I'm also providing the view without Nilou because I'm going to provide one with a Nilou, assuming Nilou has 30k HP, which is as good as not having multiple cost, the bonus. Okay, the Nilou passive bonus. So let's dive right in. We look at 0 EM first, then 1000 EM. 0 EM is so that I can show you guys the actual impact of their bonuses, all three of them, because that's how you see it works in coming into play. So first off, if you guys remember, I did a HP versus EM scaling analysis for Nilou, so we're going to do something similar, but not exactly the same. So what we have here, very similar to the previous format, right? You have Nilou HP in increasing thresholds of 10k HP, and finally at the amount that you need that will maximize her bonus, which is 400%. Yeah, 400% damage bonus. So you see here, this is the usual normal core. With Nilou's bonus, you go all the way up to 16k. Without Nilou's bonus, Baizhu A4, you see here, it's 6k, 50k HP, obviously you get a bit more. You have Kaveh Q at level 9 and level 12. I know that I don't have a C4 Kaveh here, but C4 Kaveh is only slightly better than the level 12 Q because it's 55% versus 60%. So you can more or less infer. Okay. Then I have the Baizhu 45k plus Kaveh 9Q together. Just to give a view, if you use the two of them together without Nilou's passive give you any bonus, this is what it looks like. So right off the bat, yeah, this should be obvious, right? It's almost double. But remember this without EM. So comparison points wise, the two things I really want to call out is that 45k HP versus 50k HP or Baizhu is only 318 flat damage difference for each core damage. I shouldn't say about the full core, for each core damage. Okay, so there's no need to sacrifice so much to achieve 50k HP. So if you're in a scenario where getting the ER to constantly use his Q is more important, while you try to get as much HP as possible. So something like 45k HP with 200 plus ER if required, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Because you see, it's only 300 plus difference, which once you have more EM, that 300 plus is going to be a very small difference. Okay? I mean, it looks bigger now because of the fact that there's 0 EM here. Now, Kaveh level 9 Q versus Kaveh level 12 is Q is only 264 flat damage difference, which is why I mentioned his C4 3 isn't really that impactful. So you don't really need Kaveh constellations. Oh wait, did I do it? Oh yeah. Okay, I mentioned in Math Guide 1. Sorry, because I actually did this after I finished Math Guide 2 for Kaveh, but I have not published Math Guide 2 yet. Yeah, but anyway, we move on to the next point. Now, for me to provide the percentage gain here, right, it's really to show you guys the figures. So you see here, 90%, that's expected, right? Because if you look at Baizhu's A4, his description says that he gives 90% if you have 45k HP. It's 2% per 1000 HP before you hit 50k. So that's why you see the 90% here. Here. It works perfectly on the damage when there's 0 EM. The 90% works on the flat damage portion or the non-EM scaling portion of the transformative damage formula. So at the same time, I provided you guys a view. If you have a max out Nilou, Baizhu A4 50k HP still at least grants you like a 20% bonus, 20% increase over if you didn't have Baizhu A4 50k HP in your comp. But obviously, this is 0 EM. Okay, I need to mention this many times, but I need to show you guys 0 EM view so that you know how it works. You can see the actual figures that you see from their kit. Kaveh's 46.7, I think, and 55% on the level 12 Q. So added together, this is the percentage impact. So you see like 27 to 29 isn't too bad, right? But again, remember, this is 0 EM. So I also have the different HP thresholds on Nilou. So depending on what HP your Nilou is at, you can use this as a reference. But again, this is 0 EM because I need to show you guys the 90% so you can relate. Okay, now let's move on to the 1k EM. At 1k EM, I can have this portion of the flat damage actually remains unchanged. You have a portion where the EM increases, the damage adds on to the damage here. So what you see here is a scenario where effectively we use this as the baseline. Okay, so 30k HP you can think of it as the same as not having a Nilou, because you don't get a Nilou effect at all at 30k HP. It's her passive. The max is at this level, okay, at 75444 HP. Get this. So if you have a Baizhu A4, 45k to 50k HP, you get 9 to 10% increase on the cost. While Kaveh is actually only 4% on his level 9Q and 5% on the level 12Q. So like 1% more per bloom. Yeah, it's not great for his Kaveh C3. Like I said, refer to all the different HP thresholds if it's more applicable to you. So what we can summarize here is actually a very, very straightforward thing. Okay? Kaveh is actually not that great for Nilou comps because it only offers 4% increase on bountiful costs. You know what? Let me move this so that we don't have that money cut off. Yeah. Yep. So I was saying, right, Kaveh actually isn't that great because you put Kaveh into the comp, it offers like only a 4% increase on bountiful cost, but I can tell you he provides lesser overall cost. Because in a Hydro trigger comp, if you're not using Hydro to do driving, if you're using a Dendro character to do driving, you will get lesser blooms, right? So this is exactly what I'm saying, right? You go from a Hydro driver Kokomi to a Dendro driver Kaveh, you are going to get lesser Hydro triggers for sure. But at the same time, although Kaveh only gives you 4% increase for Nilou, without Nilou, Kaveh alone is also it's also pretty weak. I mean, even if you want to go and say that there's no restriction, etc., right? The point is, it's still a little too weak. Because even if you throw in a Baizhu with 50k HP, and then I go one step further, I give you a C4 Kaveh triggering blooms as well, Dendro triggers as well. Sorry, not as well. As well, it's about 10k at 0 EM and 8k without C4 Kaveh. Okay, so that's versus 16k for a fully optimized Nilou. So I'm talking about this figure here. Okay, if you don't have C4 Kaveh, this is what your budget Kaveh Dendro Core team, Bloom team is going to do per Bloom without the EM component. This is Nilou's. So in other words, Nilou is always 8k higher, right? But there's more. So let's say you put in a C4 Kaveh, okay? C4 Kaveh doesn't apply all the time because C4 Kaveh is only on when Kaveh himself triggers. And when you do Dendro trigger, high chance you have mid triggers, 1D 3H kind of scenario. So even if I give you a C4 Kaveh, right, it's only going to be about 10k. So you're always going to be 6k behind Nilou. Like 6k doesn't sound that much, right? But it's per bountiful per bloom explosion or rupture. Then you have your EN coming up into play, and then you have the C2 Kaveh. Sorry, C2 if you compare against with C2 Nilou and C2 Nahida, it's even going to be bigger, the difference. Oh, I have not talked about Baizhu, right? So let's say if you're going to compare Kaveh with Baizhu, right, then we should compare Nilou with Baizhu, and then we will get actually 19k. Is there 19k versus 8k or 10k? Yeah, so like I say, he is budget Nilou, but it's not that great. And yet, if you use him with Nilou, the increase is also a little low. And in fact, I think it's an overall drop because the cost actually reduced. And I'll talk more about that later, or rather in the next math guide. I'll talk more in detail in the 2D 2H scenario for Kaveh and Hydro triggers. Okay, so this is in terms of flat figures. When I say that the difference will only get bigger is in terms of flat figures, obviously difference in terms of percentage is the same, the comparison. But because the figures become bigger, right, the absolute difference becomes bigger. Now, Baizhu on the other hand is actually pretty good because it actually provides 9 to 10% increase. Yeah, 9 to 10% increase even at 1k AEM. And more importantly, he does not reduce your overall cost because he still can be off-heal. He is still the Dendro character, providing the enough Dendro to make it such that your Hydro triggers can work consistently and beautifully. And he basically has the same amount of application as DMC in terms of number of elemental application instances. So Baizhu is pretty decent actually. You want to use with Nilou. Kaveh on the other hand, not that great. Okay. So likely, right? If you look at this, right, most likely Nahida plus Baizhu plus Kokomi plus Nilou should be a very good comp. If you want to talk about min-maxing, although you may have to interweave your Kokomi normal attacks with some Nahida or Nahida reapplication of her E, and maybe some normal attacks on Nahida. Yeah, but it does feel like that would be the strongest Bloom comp, based on what I can see here. Okay. Oh, and obviously the higher the EM, the lower the boost, right? Because we are talking about the flat component versus the scalable EM component. But because EM has diminishing returns after 1k anyway, so I think the above analysis paints a good enough picture. In fact, if you guys want, there's a formula here, right? So if you look at it, right, it's 1.5k EM. Right, sorry, here. Yeah. So you see that the percentage changes, right? So basically it's 8%. It's not an issue because it just drops like 2%. Yeah. I mean, this is obviously like a lower end 8 or maybe like 7.6 versus something like 8.4. If you want to understand why is it looking like the same percentage versus like 9 to 10 earlier. Okay. So yeah, this gives you a view. If you even you go 1000 EM, the conclusion is still pretty much the same. Alright, so I hope this video, while short, is how should I put it? It's helpful. It provides you the right information to make a decision on how best to optimize a Bloom comp, be it with Nilou or without Nilou. Obviously I'm recommending with Nilou, because you still can prove on Nilou now. Alright, so anyway, thanks everyone for watching. The next video I'll talk about the Kaveh Bloom comp 2D2H Hydro Trigger. And it's going to be a bit more informative than my previous usual math guide for a comp, even though it's already very detailed. Because I'm going to throw in a bit of a weapon comparison and artifact comparison as well. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Remember to like the video if you like the content and click subscribe for more. Bye.